Welcome everyone. On behalf of GVB London, I'd like to invite you all to this Sunday special talk today. The talk is on the topic Arihant Vandanvali and its essence. The talk is delivered by Heena Vora, our Varisht Shravika, and a GVB London teacher as well. So I'd like to invite Hinaji for this wonderful talk today. Hinaji, over to you.
Thank you. I would like to start with Nokar mantra first. Namo Arihantanam, Namo, Namo, Namo Sitanam, Namo, Namo, Namo Ariyanam, Namo, Namo, Namo Vachayanam, Namo, Namo, Namo Loye Savasahunam, Namo Loye Savasahunam, Eso Panchanamo Karo Sabpav Panasano Mangalangancha Savesrim Padamam Havai Mangalam Padamam Havai Mangalam. I bow down to lotus feet of Lord Mahavir, Acharya Shriji, Samnijis, and to all of you. Good morning, Jai Jinendra. Today's topic is Arihant Vandanvali. So let's start with the topic. So let's first let us know the meaning of Arihant Vandanvali. Okay, so first of all, we all know the meaning of Arihant Prabhu, Arihant, who has defeated all the inner enemies. And Vandanvali, the word Vandanvali means Vandan plus Avali. So just like how we say Dipavali, so it is Avali means a row like in Dipavali, row of Dipak. In the same way, here is a row of Vandan. So the poet does 49 times he bows down. So that's how he has created a series of Vandan, and then it will explain to us that why does he feel like bowing down each time he says something. And this is why it's called Vandanvali. Okay, and it is a stuti, and you all know stuti refers to praise or prayers in glorification of Sri our Lord Mahavir, or whoever we are praying to. Yes, so and it comes from the this root Sanskrit word is tu, which also means praise, and basically both means that praise. So the poet is praising Lord. Now, this is it's been translated in Gujarati by Chandulal Sakarchand Sa. So originally, this Vandanvali was written in Sanskrit, but unfortunately, we do not know the name of the writer. So here, what we have is the translation done by Chandulal Sakarchand Sa in 1963. Now, who was Chandulal Sakarchand Shah? He was a very clever businessman, but mother was not happy. Like he achieved lots of things in his professional life. And every time he achieved something, he was very happy. But when he came home, he saw the mother was not that very happy. So one time he asked, "Why are you not so happy, mother, after my this many achievement?" So the mother said, uh, if you can do something to raise your soul higher, so like we say, Atma ka uddhar, ऐसा करेगा तो अच्छा होएगा. Now, so then I will be happy if you study something that will uplift your soul. So that, and then he said, okay, who will teach me about this? So the mother said, go to Pashray and ask Maharaj Sahib, and he will suggest you someone who can teach you. At that time, in the town called Lunava, Acharya Bhadra Shankar Vijayji Maharaj was residing there, who started teaching him with Namaskar mantra. And Chandulalji got really interested into learning everything, and he thought that he has found the right guru. Now, with one second. So he thought that he has found the right guru. And with his Acharyaji's teaching, he wrote the book called Anekantvad, Syadvad, and he progressed and progressed until he went into very deep sadhana, and he needed to move to the quieter place to do his sadhana. So he went to Pansar, which is it's a dharmasala near Ahmedabad. While deeply studying, he also started studying Sanskrit and Prakrit. And in the section of Prakrit, sorry, so this is originally written in Prakrit, he found Arihant Vandanvali. He got really touched while studying this, and he put that grunt on his head and he started dancing as if he found something beautiful, something that is not achievable. He was really overjoyed and thanked the original writer. So he in this journey, and this journey for him was only 5 to 7 years. Now, who has explained this in detail is Sakarchan, who is Sanakwasi Acharya Jayant Muniji, explained the Gujarati version of this beautiful prayer, and it is been edited by Gunwant Barbalia from Ghatkopar. So Acharya ji lived in the town called Petrabar. Now this is right near to Samet Sikar, and it's a very, very remote place. But he started this place because he thought that Lord Mahavir was there once, and he wanted to take care of the people who lived in Bhagwan's Bhumi. So he started his ashram there, and he was taking care of the people of the surrounding area, irrelevant of the caste and creed. Yes. And that is how he lived his life. And if today also, if you go there, the ashram is still there, and people are being looked after there physically and religiously as well. Okay. Now, the other thing I would like to say before I start going on to the prayer is that Gautam Swami, in Uttradhyan Sutra, Gautam Swami asked Bhagwan, what do we achieve by doing Vanna? As this prayer, in the last line of the prayer is Vandana. So what is the importance of Vanna? So let's have a look at the importance of Vanna. So in Uttradhyan Sutra, Gautam Swami asked Bhagwan, what do we achieve by doing Vanna? And Bhagwan answered, first, by Vandana, the soul destroys such karma which leads to birth in low families and acquires such karma which leads to birth in noble families. He wins the affection of people, which results in his being looked upon as an authority, and he brings about general goodwill. So these are the benefits. And also, according to the text called Pravachan Sarodhar, it creates modesty, it expels undue pride, it establishes devotion to our Guru, it fulfills the order of Tirthankar, it fulfills the essentiality of scriptures. It ultimately leads you towards the moksha. These are all the benefits of doing Vanna. So, as you can see, this is where it starts. Now, as I said, every stanza of the last line says Namo. This is a symbol of obeisance. Now, its implication is that to pay obeisance to great soul in the is to worship them. So by namaskar, we express our faith, devotion, and to pure emotions towards pure soul. So worship by obeisance is two kinds: obeisance with object and obeisance with thought. So you will hear is bow, which is very important. The process of Dravya Namaskar is to aid activity in the limbs and heart by stabilizing and coordinating them and bowing down to the object of one's worship or obeisance. The process of Bhav Namaskar means that one must remove, very important, one must remove the active mind from all fluctuations and engage it towards the object of one's worship or obeisance. Now, it is the duty of those who perform namaskar to deliver both kind of obeisance. So remember, when we bow down, we must have both. In a way by doing physical vanna as well as and both are as important. Okay, so and so also there's one more importance is bow, and one must have the right bow, and then only you are going to be attracted to the right religion. In other words, one need to be completely free of passion. You know the word, we say it in Hindi, Gujarati, nirmal. So हमको जब भी निर्मलता आता है तभी हमारा वंदन बहुत अच्छा होता है. So that is also very important. So that's when we have अहोभाव जब भी जागता है तो अच्छी तरह से हमारा वंदन is successful. Yes. So that is why the last stanza I will not be repeating every time when I do the stanza, as it is the same in all of them. Okay, and there is one more meaning I would like to also clarify before we go ahead, is this whole prayer is about Bhagwan's Kalyanak, 5 Kalyanak, as you all know. So Kalyanak means welfare, something that happens for the welfare of the universe. That is why it is called Kalyanak. As it proves that Arihant existence brings so much welfare to the society. Yes, so the whole prayer is about Bhagwan's 5 Kalyanak, as you know. So we'll be starting off with the, now we go on to the first stanza. And here, again, what I would like to do is just explain to you. The first gatha is about Chyavan Kalyanak, okay? And so we'll go on to the first one first, and then 2 to 6 is birth celebration. As we go along, I will be telling you again, so no need to go again for this one. Now, so this is the first one. Now, as I said, you can find this on YouTube, and they are everywhere. It's been sung in very, very different tunes, but they are also very beautiful. And until we sing, we don't get that bhav. So now and then I will be singing a couple of stanzas. And so the first one is, it goes like this. जे चौद महास्वप्नों थकी निज मात ने हर खावता वरि गर्भ माहि ज्ञान त्रयने गोपवी अवतारता ने जन्मता पहलाज 64 इंद्र जे ने वंदता एवा प्रभु अरिहंत ने पंचांग भावे नमु मारा प्रभु अरिहंत ने पंचांग भावे नमु. So let's look at the meaning of this first stanza. As I have translated it here, as you can see on the slide, as Lord Arhant's soul conceives, brings joy to their mother by presenting 14 dreams. The Lords, whilst in their mother's womb, possesses 3 types of knowledge. 64 Indras bow down to him before birth. To such Lord Arhant, I pay my homage with 5 limbs, namaskar and joyful emotions. Okay, so this is common in all 49, the last one. Now, so all the souls who achieved Keval Gnan are all considered Arhant Prabhu. Okay, so here why we are saying Arhant Vandanvali, I just have a little explanation to give you. The we are not trying to not talk about Siddha Prabhu, but Arhant. So whoever became Siddha Prabhu, they were always at one time Arhant Prabhu, and that is why we have said Arhant. So as we say sometimes, when kingship is over, we still call that person king in the same way. So this is all to do with our Tirthankars as well. Okay. Now, the series of 14 or 16 dreams are only changed for the first Tirthankar, Rishabdev's mother saw bull first and then the rest. Mavi's mother saw lion first and the rest. But rest 22 Tirthankar's mother always saw elephant first. This is about the 14 or 16 dreams. Okay. Now, as I said, why we are bowing down to Arhant Prabhu is because we can see them physically, and that is why we are talking about Arhant Prabhu. Okay. Now, whatever apparent features are shown in this prayer don't apply to all Arhant Prabhu. One must remember that. Just the way after long sadhana one binds Tirthankar Nam karma, the same way to be mother of Tirthankar is also achieved after many births sadhana. So due to their joint punya, this happens, as she can see the 14 dream and she's going to give birth to Arhant Prabhu. Okay. Now, each of these dreams represent indirectly many auspicious virtues of the soul, which is going to take birth. All the Indras are the highest type of gods, and as soon as they realize that this auspicious soul has entered the womb, they take their shoes off, mojari is called, and crowns off, and get off their Singhasan, that is their crown, and they start bowing down from heaven only with adoration. So they start bowing down from the heaven only, as they know. Now this means that in the stage of renunciation and knowledge, power and wealth are lost. Arhants have lot more hidden power than Indras. Okay. Now, so normally there are 2 types of Vandan, as we already talked about it, is Sastang and Panchang. So Sastang means you bow down with all your limbs, and Panchang means with your 2 hands and 2 two legs and one head. Okay, so these are the two different types of vandan that I would like to. So when devotee does this vandan, means his energy of hands and legs as well as head, he is offering to Lord, so that all his deeds become only auspicious. And especially when bowing down head means he is giving up his ego, which is very important, so that all his ignorance fade away and true knowledge starts flowing in his head. Leaving his doubts, he gets drenched into the total devotion, right? And we already talked about bhav. In Jainism, bhav is mode of soul determined by rise, suppression, annihilation, and annihilation come subsidence of karma, accompanied by the following activities on the body in form of physical expression and actions. So emotion is an aspect or component of bhav. The only thing I could tell you all this, but still bhav is bhav. I mean, I wouldn't say there is exact word for bhav in English, but we all understand what is bhav. Now, here, I think all of you know about Mati Gyan, Shruta Gyan, and Audi Gyan. Mati Gyan is sensory knowledge, Shruta Gyan is scriptural knowledge, and Audi Gyan is clairvoyance knowledge. Okay, and Panchanga Vanna, we already talked about it. Okay, so this is the first stanza that all the lords are bowing down as soon as they realize that Lord is going to take birth. Okay, so now we go on to the second stanza. Here, again, I would like to sing it first, and this is how it goes. Mahayogna samrajma je garbhma ullasata ne janmata tranlokma mahasurya samparkasata जे जन्म कल्याण कवडे सौजीवने सुख अर्पता एवा प्रभु अरिहंत ने पंचांग भावे नमो मारा प्रभु अरिहंत ने पंचांग भावे नमो. So here, this stanza where we start Bhagwan's Lord's birth Kalyana. So here he takes birth. Okay, so as the whole stanza explains, as in highly meditative state, Lord is joyful in mother's womb. Upon their birth, they radiate like the sun in all three realms and provide bliss to all living beings. To such Lord Arhant, I pay my homage with five limbs namaskar and joyful emotions. So now, why they feel joyous in their mother's womb? Let's look at this. So it talks about Janma Kalyana. The enlightened souls don't have the stages such as birth or death. That is why they are happy even in the womb, as they can see due to their punya karma, the body that they are taking birth. So the soul is always there. It's just that they are going to get into the body, which is separate to the soul. So no attachment to the body. For ordinary people, there is no kalyana, as you can see, because we have not differentiated our body and the soul. Now, the only thing is a very little thing that different sects thinks differently about the importance of this kalyana, but janma kalyana, birth kalyana, Sthanakvasi don't give the importance, but Deravasi does. Okay. Now, Marudeva gave birth to twins. This pious birth influenced the surroundings. The sky became filled with soothing glow, the wind became fragrant, and the whole atmosphere became filled with unprecedented joy. That was hard to describe. Okay, so it just saying it by this stanza that how beautiful it felt when Lord took birth. Right. So we go on to the next one, still about Janma Kalyanak, and it says, Chapan Dikumari Tani Seva Subhave Pamta Devendra Sarasam Putamahi Dhari Jagat Har Kavata Meru Shikhar Sinhasane Che नाथ जगना शोभता एवा प्रभु अरिहंत ने पंचांग भावे नमो मारा प्रभु अरिहंत ने पंचांग भावे नमो. Some of you who knows Gujarati, some of the words make sense to them anyway. So it's another beautiful stanza. Let's look at the meaning in English first. The Lord Arhant received honored services from 56 celestial damsels, and Indra Bhagwan cradles him in his palm. Delighting the world takes him to the summit of Mount Meru. The Father of the universe looks majestic, sitting on his throne. To such Lord Arhant, I pay my homage. Now, by here, as you can, Chappan Dik Kumari. So by mentioning Dik Kumaris, shows the importance of birth of Lord Arhant. That not only human beings, but God and goddesses from all directions also comes to pay their homage. Now, Tirthankar's mother, they all go round to Tirthankar mother and bow down to her. They also sang and danced in praise of the child that was to become Tirthankar, and then proceeded to perform post-birth cleaning rituals. Lot more description can be found. There's this book called Trishasti Salaka Purus, and there it's a long description how they do his birth celebration, all the god and goddesses. Now, at that instant, the king of gods of the Sudharma dimension, who is Dharmendra Sakra, also came to know that the first Tirthankar has taken birth. He arrives with his large retinue of gods and bowed before the mother and said, "O great mother, so Dharmendra Shakra bow before you and offer you my salutations." Now, so as you all know, Dendra is the highest god, is the high of the different gods. Now, after the salutation, the mother was put to sleep. So Dharmendra created 5 looks-alike bodies of himself, which will follow the picture will follow into a couple of stanzas, but it just mentions it here that with one of his body, he carefully lifted baby in his one hand and takes him to the Meru Sikar for Janma Abhishek. Now, with the second body, he took an umbrella in his hand and stationed the body behind the baby. Now, with the third and fourth body, he took whisks and stationed these bodies on both sides of the baby. Now, Fifth one, he lifted his divine weapon, which is called Vajra, and stationed himself ahead of the baby as a bodyguard. In this formation, the king of gods airlifted the baby to Mount Meru. This is the picture in the Gatha number 5, so you will see it then. Okay, now what does it mean by Dik Kumaris? So Dik means Disha, from all sides, sides like, and what are the sides? There are total 8 sides. Okay, so 8 from each side and 6 from subsides. So that makes 56. Okay, so 8 from main each sides and then 6 from subdivisions. Okay, not only this many, but many lot more, as the universe is so huge. To do Janma Kalyana, they all come there. Now, Dik Kumaris are like Apsaras, okay, the celestial damsel. Also, all the Indras and Maha Indra come as well. The reason Meru Sikar is chosen to celebrate the birth celebration is because it is not possible to do it on the normal land. Out of 5 Meru Sikar is at the out of 5, Meru Maha Meru is at the top highest level. That is why that was the appropriate place to do the birth celebration. Okay, so this is why Meru Sikar was chosen. Okay, now we go on to the next one. Is कुसुमांजलि थी सुर असुर चे भव्य जिनने पूजता क्षीरोदती नवण जड़ती देव जेने सिंचता वड़ी देव दंडूबी नाग गजबी देवताओं रिझता एवा प्रभु अरिहंत ने पंचांग भावे नमो मारा प्रभु अरिहंत ने पंचांग भावे नमो. So what does this stanza mean? Gods and demons use flowers to worship the beautiful soul of China. They bathe him with the auspicious Kshirodati sea water, and the gods express their happiness by playing celebratory trumpets. To such Lord Arihant, I bow down and pay my homage. Now, so why God and demons are worshipping? Why the water from Kshirodati sea? So let's look at it. On Mount Meru, all gods, including their 64 kings with their consorts, ceremoniously perform the post-birth and anointing rituals. Importance of flowers have always been there since time immemorial. Firstly, even Arihant Prabhu is also being offered flowers. Even Indras, while offering flowers to Lord, feels that they themselves are also surrendering to Arihant Prabhu. There is no streams of water on the top of Meru Sikar. Therefore, all the devatas, after fetching the thousands of pots of water from the auspicious seas like Shiroda, the ocean, standing by there. On top of the Mount Meru Sikar, it is not possible for the human being to be there. That is why all the devatas are doing the procedure, all the vidhi. Yeah. So while giving bath with each pot of water, devatas are feeling even more pure, as if they are flowing like that pure water. While all this is happening, how can the atmosphere be silent? It was all the sunk and all the Sankhnath, the Dumbi, and with the sweet voices, the whole of the sky was very pleasant. Unfortunately, human beings cannot be there, but the whole of the heaven brings the feeling. This stanza brings that feeling and the description that makes us feel very joyful as well. So just by listening to the description, the poet bows down to Lord as he feels that he is there and he can see the beauty of Lord. Okay, so this is what this one means. And we go on to the next one, which is मग मग थता गोशीस चंदन थी विलेपन पामता देवेंद्र दैवी पुष्पनीमा रागड़े आरोपता कुंडल कड़ा मणिमय चमकता हार मुकुटे शोभता एवा प्रभु अरिहंत ने पंचांग भावे हूनमु मारा प्रभु अरिहंत ने पंचांग भावे हूनमु. So here it says, Lord Arhant is gently massaged with sandalwood paste. Lord Indra places a garland of auspicious flowers around his neck, diamond bracelets, earrings, and a splendid crown adorn Lord Arhant and make him look attractive. To such Lord Arhant, I pay my homage. So again, here the whole still the description of how they are celebrating his birth is going on. Okay, so now they are using Goshi's sandalwood, garland, karnasamput, and cut. So let's see what it means. Now, this Goshi's sandalwood is from the tree which is very rarely found. It is only available in Goshi's Vruksha, that is in the Badrasal forest, which is rare. It's a high quality forest. It is available from the tree shaped like cow's head from the middle of it, and it is highly expensive. Gods collect that before Lord is even going to be born in their precious collections and they keep it in their precious collection to bath Lord with it. They feel fortunate to do so. It gives beautiful smell to the whole environment, and then Indra Devas are so eager to put the garland of flowers. It goes without saying that just like Chandan, these flowers are also very high quality. Also, they bring all the ornaments that had prepared with the expensive jewels. As we all know, sandalwood really smells good, but this particular sandalwood, which is Goshi's, is even more fragrant. Okay, so very important that Ratna, Manik, Nilam are all two types. You know, we all know all these stones are two types. This themselves self-illumination, that is Swaprakash, but they have Parprakash as well. So they themselves have the illumination, but they give the light to the other objects as well, wherever that is. So the one we know shines due to outside light, but these auspicious stones shines themselves as well. Yeah, and all those ornaments themselves become very auspicious, and then they represent Lord's inner qualities and outer qualities. Just the way Karna Samput, that is earrings, he can listen to the three realms sound. As I said, this Neelam, all these stones, they not only illuminate outside world, but they are illuminating inside as well. So when we see the Karna Samput, that is his earrings, yeah, we can, why is because he can listen to the three, to everybody. In the same way, garland in the neck, that is the Divya Dhwani is coming from his neck, yeah. So the garland is put there because Divya Dhwani is coming. The bracelets on the hand, that is Samyak Darshan and Samyak Charitra, to awaken men's consciousness and so on. So these are not the only ornaments, lot more, but this is just the examples have been given. As such, Lord's all limbs have that inner beauty that hardly these things, this is all for us just to make us feel what the atmosphere is like. It does not matter to Lord if these things are put on him or not. Okay, so really it is for us human beings just to create that environment. Okay, these are just to show God's devotion towards Lord. And sometimes even when we offer flower, it's the same thing. It does not matter to Lord if we have offered him flower or anything. Okay, it is all to do with for our own satisfaction. And it reminds us of Lord's virtues by doing such. And this is why all these pujas are being done. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. This is the last stanza to celebrate Lord's birth. Okay, as I think in the we talked about Indra taking 5 different roop, and that 5 different you can see that in this picture here. So this one is holding baby and all the other things are happening, and he is right there in front as a bodyguard. Okay, so that's that. Now we go on to the next one, which is the end of this birth celebration. And Ne Shrestha Venu Morali Veena Mrudanga Tana Dvani Vajintra Tale Nrutya Karati Kinnari O Swargani Harshe Bari Devangana O Naman Karati Lari Lari Eva Prabhu Arihant Ne Panchang Bhave Hunamu Mara Prabhu Arihant Ne Panchang Bhave Munamu. So here, whilst the finest flute, violin, and mridanga are playing, heavenly angels are dancing to the tune, and exuberant goddesses are bowing down repeatedly. To such Lord Arhant, I bow down. So here is just shows us the joy that all the god and goddesses are feeling by doing this. Okay, so for any celebrations without beautiful devangana with their special instruments and beautiful postures, dancing is must to bring the life to environments. Lord does not require this, but just to satisfy our inner bhav. We take refuge of such celebration, as we already talked. Sculpture, literature, instruments, singing tone, dancing. Nature has given us all these 5 different arts to show our joy. When devas or human want to show their devotion, only bhakti yoga is visible. So this is the only yoga, this is the only action that can be seen, since the Gyan Yoga and that is one stays steady, and in Dhyan Yoga it's even more steady. So that is to do with our inner situation. The Bhakti Yoga is the only one which is visible, and that is why all these celebrations are being described. Okay, so here his birth Kalyanak finishes, and then when we go on to the next one, it is going to talk about Lord's childhood, his education, and his when he takes his marriage takes place. Okay, so let's have a look at one by one now. uh, so जयनाद करता देवताओं हर्षना अतिरेक मां पदरामणि करता जनेता महाप्रसादमा जे इंद्रपूरित वरसुताने चूसता अंगुष्टमा एवा प्रभु अरिहंत ने पंचांग पावे नमो मारा प्रभु अरिहंत ने पंचांग पावे नमो. So here the gods arrive in the hall of Lord's mother because they have finished the birth celebration on top of the Mount Meru and excitedly cheering of his victory. When the Lord feels hungry, he sucks on his toe, which is filled with milk by Lord Indra. To such Lord Arhant I pay my homage. All so after Abhishek finished, Lord Indra brings him to his mother's hall. Okay, and Lord Indra installed high quality nectar for Lord to suck on his thumb when he is hungry. So God feels happy as if he is feeding Lord with Amrut. As I already told you, this is all for our or Lord Indra's satisfaction. Lord is born with everything. He really doesn't need anything. But this is just the show of how one feels. Okay, so this is about this stanza. Now let's look at the next one. Again, it continues with the same thing. आहार ने निहार जेना छे अगोचर चाक्षुति प्रसवेद व्याधि मेल जेना अंगने स्पर्शे नहीं स्वर्धेनुदुग्ध समारुतिरने मास जेना तन्मही एवा प्रभु अरिहंत ने पंचांग पावे नमो मारा प्रभु अरिहंत ने पंचांग पावे नमो. So his intake of food along with his excretion are invisible. He neither perspires nor does the dirt touch his body. His body is covered in white flesh, and his blood is also white like the milk of heavenly cows. To such Lord Arhant, I bow down. So now what it's trying to describe here is this all like it's all invisible, whatever Lord is, however way he is eating or his excretion, in his perspiration and his body, all this is all invisible. Okay, his body is covered with just the white flesh, so it's just the soul that is there. And so this is all due, why has he got that sort of body is due to his Tirthankar Nam Karma Uday. So his Tirthankar Nam Karma has fruition, and that is why his body is totally different to ours. Nature is itself. Now, who destroys all this is nature. Nature itself destroys all those pudgals, the particles, just the way camphor loses its existence in the air. So that is why Lord's body is such. The nature works as a mother. Okay, so as if nature is own mother, and this is why this is the description of Lord's body, and why has he got that. Okay, I'm thinking I would like to stop here because we only have 5 more minutes. So if anyone has any questions, and we will continue with this prayer next week. So is there any questions, please? Subhamji?
Om Arham, everyone. You can unmute yourself at this point and ask any questions if you have.
If no questions, I would like to ask myself question to all of you. Did you find this interesting? What did you think? I'm sure you can talk now.
Yes.
This is the only way we can continue. Otherwise, we have to find something else.
Now, the topic, in my opinion, it was very interesting, Hinaji, and it was like a storytelling session. So interesting that even my 8-year-old got interested in your talk as you were speaking about it. So I'm sure it was very interesting for the rest of the listeners as well.
Thank you, Subhamji. Anybody else, please?
I like the singing. It was beautiful, and so did my wife.
Thank you.
About the Arihant's body, it sort of worries me that he's not human anymore. Really, he's born. He's so. How do you explain that? He's not really a human. He's not really a human being if he's got white blood and all the rest of it. So how does that go?
Okay, so this is a very interesting question. As I said, all these, like even all the other description and everything, it is to satisfy our own like instincts. I would say that this is how Lord was. Unfortunately, in this era, none of us have seen him. So we all have to depend on all these descriptions that are being given in our agam, or however, wherever it is. Yes, and that is what we have to go by. It is very, very difficult, but if you study all the virtues, it just explains it all. Okay, and then again, I would like to point out one thing that about the body, that the different sects believe different way. Okay, Digambar's thing that he never ate, he didn't have any nature call, nothing. Whereas other sects, they think, of course, he had everything. Okay, so it is like, and one way or the other, we have to describe him as a human being. As even in Hindus, all the different gods have come in all different time and again. When it needed, they come down in a human body, and then they give the message that is necessary at the time to explain to people to be on a spiritual path. Okay, so this is whatever you call it, it is our imagination, or if you really want to believe in these realities, it's really up to us. But I would definitely say one thing, that it's the virtues that one has to hang on to than anything physical, I would say. Does that answer your question?
Yes. Yes, thank you.
That's very, very nicely explained. Basically, I was thinking same question, but the way you explained that the these are kind of like um, uh, the kind of stories or the literature description, but the context we need to take as a human being or like as a Shravak, that the virtues and in a way how the conduct or the characters or um, and in given situation how they behave. So basically I think I understood from you that the virtues that we need to pick up and try to understand.
Yeah.
Is it correct understanding?
Excellent. So that's what it is. We really need to understand the virtues. I mean, these are all, as I also told you before, that it is mainly for our own satisfaction. As we all, even when we go to temple, we some do puja, some don't. It's really up to what, however way you feel it. But everything we do, we put the flower, we do the sandalwood, everything. Does it matter to that the statue or whatever we have? It doesn't matter to them, does it? It is for our own satisfaction, and it is why, because it keeps us on to that path. So while you are doing the flowers, you want to be as soft as you want, to make your life as soft as you want, as one can be. In the same way, sandalwood, the incense, or or everything we do is the virtues of that particular item that you want to put, like bring that in within in your life. Yeah. So these are all very physical thing, I would say, but the message we need to take is how we need to make our life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, good.
Thank you. So I if I have said anything against our religion, I say Michami Dukram to all of you, and I think we will end our talk here. Okay, so I just quickly say Chattari Mangalam, Arhanta Mangalam, Siddha Mangalam, Sahu Mangalam, Kevali Panato Tamo Mangalam, Chattari Logutama, Arhanta Logutama, Siddha Logutama, Sahu Logutama, Kevali Panato Tamo Logutamo, Chattari Sharanam Pavachami, Site Sharanam Pavachami, Sahu Sharanam Pavachami, Kevali Panatam Tamam Sharanam Pavachami, Pavachami, Pavachami. Thank you all for listening to me.
Thank you, Omar Ham. Thank you.
Thank
Om
you, Omar
Shanti.
Thank you.
Abhi.
Thank you.
Om
Bye.